It's a very good return on investment. 20% much better than you're going to get with money sitting in the bank. And if you can borrow money at 5% to do it, then that's fantastic. There's no reason that anyone shouldn't be doing this. To his point, everyone's should be getting solar.
I understand where you are in Coaldale. You're trying to electrify the whole postcode. How exactly is that working?
I think if we're all honest about the world, no one yet, like barely a single household, has figured out how to eliminate all of their emissions. So we're running a campaign in postcode 2515, and that involves a lot of education, helping people figure out what the combinations are, and we're taking a little bit of risk on the remaining technologies to make this work, namely the community batteries, the energy management systems.
Yeah, this is one of my personal goals as well, is over the next 2 years, I am aiming to become 100% electrified. At the moment, I live off-grid. I have solar and batteries, but I have a generator to back up that. And at the moment, I'm still driving a petrol car and a diesel car. But I can see a pathway, and it's not too expensive for me to transition to 100% self-sufficient, 100% electrified. And the only way I can do it is to be electrified. Then I have no external cost, and I'm completely protected from fluctuations due to wars and fuel prices or gas prices, and I'm able to power it all on my own premises. So his idea is going around the entire postcode. My idea is just to try and get my property off grid.
We've had 100 years of writing the rules of the road, our energy regulations, our climate policy for a fossil-fueled world, and we now very, very quickly, like in a few years, need to rewrite the rules of our energy system for mass electrification.
100% correct. We've had this centralized power system where you have big coal-fired power stations and you transport the electricity out. And now we live in a world where you've got, tens of thousands of tiny power stations throughout the network. It's kind of like trying to skip a generation. We've still got the old infrastructure in place, but if you're developing a new country in Africa or something where they haven't had that centralized power system, you can easily go to tiny microgrids or off-grid systems. It's kind of like the mobile phone. Instead of having poles and wires to transport your comms, you can go straight to the mobile. In a way, those developing nations have a bit of a head start on us now because we've got that comfort of legacy infrastructure, but now we're going to try and adapt.
This is an extraordinary thing. The largest machine ever built in Australia is our electricity network. So given that that's going to do the heavy lifting in our decarbonisation, now's the time to invest in that. And really, we've got to emphasise what Australia has to win here. The economics of the energy transition are better for Australia than any other country.
100%. We have the best opportunity to make the most money and to lead the world. We already lead the world in IP when it comes to solar panel cell manufacturing, which we then sell to China for them to sell panels back to us. But we have the most abundant sunlight. We've got all the opportunity. I think what we're possibly lacking is a bit of vision.
And what we need is the government to have a full-throated, all-sector decarbonisation and climate policy that includes electrification.
Yeah, how good's Saul Griffith? So articulate, on the money, and has written some awesome books and papers on this subject. I don't know if the politicians are reading it, but probably pick up his book and just the vision that puts forward for an electrified grid, the savings that it makes, the opportunity that it presents, the markets that it will stimulate, and the leadership that it could show. And we're in the best position in the world to do it. The time is now. Yeah, we should be doing it for ourselves, and we should be pushing our government to do it at that level as well.